What is content curation? We are all creating content. In today's world, there is a cascade of information that requires us to think differently about how we access content, particularly online. Whereas a few years ago, there existed a few sources of information and research. Now there is a plethora, and it is growing exponentially. So as learning professionals, how do we ensure that we're helping our people to sift through this glut of information so they can find what they're looking for? One answer to this question is content curation. When most people think about curation, they often identify with museums. For example, a museum curator keeps abreast of trends and finds resources that resonate with those areas. They look for artefacts and objects that help tell the story of whatever it is they're exhibiting. Visitors to the museum view the exhibition with the accompanying notes and grow their understanding about what they're experiencing. Apply that to a business context, and curation is about finding helpful or relevant sources that resonate with the journey we want to take our learners on. Because of the overwhelming amount of information being generated, curation in a digital world isn't a luxury, it's an absolute necessity. According to IBM, we create 2.4 quintillion bytes of data daily. The majority of this, 90%, has been created within the last 2 years. In August 2014, the number of tweets happening reached in excess of 140,000 per second. No wonder people can feel overwhelmed. We need to find a way to separate the signal from the noise, and this is where content curation comes in. Think about your own email account. How much information flows in from various sites or subscription services that could be interesting or give you something valuable? If only you could be sure that reading it would be worth the investment of your time. Content that has been curated specifically creates connections between resources that are appropriate to the topics that you're looking for. Often this includes a curator's opinion of the quality of the resource too. So those viewing it can be better informed about how likely it is to be helpful. Many of us will already have experienced content curation in one form or another. In fact, you've probably already done some curating yourself. For example, YouTube tracks how many views each video has, and viewers invariably look for those that are trending. Videos with more views are more likely to be interesting or relevant to what you're searching for, so often gets displayed first. This is a clear example of content curation, albeit done by the digital community at large. Social media in particular is often used as an example of how content curation has worked in the digital world. However, we can't rely on social media to tell us what is right and what is useful. These sites or other search engines can give us the content, but we need to ensure to use our brains to make the connections between the not so obvious or non-linear articles, stories, and events. We need to utilise our knowledge and expertise as well as our understanding of the context of our organisation. We apply our own critical thinking and sense what is useful and relevant. This is also how we learn, and consequently why content curation is a growing part of many people's personal and professional development. This video is the first step in a module which will seek to share with you the basics of content curation in a digital world. We will overlay these principles with guidelines around how we expect this to operate in our workplace. There will be some content for you to peruse, some learning checks as well as links to outside resources that we have curated specifically for this topic. We hope you enjoy this journey.